nuclear plant. And first of all, I would like to thank the NRC for hosting this public meeting so we can continue our review process and the discussion of your request for additional information that you have proposed and are finalizing. And we're looking forward to today's discussion to clarify those. Before we start on the presentation, let me just reiterate our commitment on behalf of Southern California Edison. We are committed to operating the San
and I am a member of the steam generator recovery team.
I'm John Brabeck. I'm the manager of the steam generator recovery team at the Songs plant.
Good afternoon, Richard St. Onge, Director of Regulatory Affairs and Emergency Planning at the San Onofre facility.
All right, thank you.
My name is Randy Hall. I'm the project manager in the Office of Nuclear Reactor Regulation for the NRC.
My name is Doug Broadus. I'm the branch chief for the Song Special Projects branch in the Office of Nuclear Reactor Regulation.
Ken Kowalski, Senior Level Advisor for Steam Generators.
So, Emmett Murphy, in our Division of Engineering.
My name is Carl Thurston. I'm a Reactor Systems Engineer in the Office of Research. Thank you, gentlemen. Go ahead, Tom.
Okay, again, to reiterate, we look forward to today's discussion, and at this point, let me turn it over to John Brabeck, our team leader, and he will take the meeting from here.
Thank you, Tom, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Brabeck. I am the manager of the Song Steam Generator Recovery Project. We're pleased to have an opportunity this afternoon to discuss with the NRC staff the request for additional information that Southern California Edison has received in draft form since submitting our confirmatory action letter response on October 3rd. We know the NRC staff's been carefully evaluating our technical documentation since the CAL response was submitted, and that's evidenced by the information for requests that we're here to discuss today. Before we begin the RAI dialogue, we'd like to provide an overview of the multiple operational assessments that we did develop as components of SONG's Return to Service Plan. SCE has been deliberate and methodical in development of the Unit 2 Return to Service Plan, and nuclear safety has always remained our highest priority. Before I discuss the material relevant to operational assessments, we'd like to cover the purpose of today's meeting from our perspective, and that is to discuss Southern California Edison's Return to Service Plan with the Nuclear Regulatory Commission staff, with a focus first on the operational assessments that are foundational to the Return to Service Plan, and then to discuss response plans for the request for additional information, and then to confirm through dialogue with the staff that we have an understanding of the scope and the intent of each one of those requests for information. So let's move to slide 5 of our presentation, where we'll begin to discuss the Return to Service strategy deployed. All right, as you see on this slide, and this is, there's much detail, this is just a compilation, a high-level compilation of information that's contained in Section 8.0 of the Return to Service Plan. One of the key actions taken to return Unit 2 safely to power is to administratively limit power to 70% during the following operating interval. And that's for a key purpose of reducing the thermal hydraulic conditions that contribute to what we've identified as the mechanistic cause of the tube-to-tube wear and in-plane tube vibration in Unit 2 and Unit 3, fluid elastic instability. This power reduction significantly reduces fluid velocities, and that's less energy causing tubes to vibrate, and then also significantly reduces void fraction, which provides better damping and again reduces tube vibration. And then ultimately this reduction in power or limit of power to 70% prevents fluid elastic instability, the mechanistic cause of the tube-to-tube wear. Additionally, in Section 8, we talk about preventative plugging of tubes. We removed a number of tubes from service that we identified through our analysis as being most susceptible to the fluid elastic instability at 100% power. As I've already mentioned, and as you're aware, we did develop multiple independently developed operational assessments, and we'll talk a bit more in the following slides about why we did that. And then also in Section 8, 8.3 actually, we define a short operating interval, a 5-month window, which is significantly shorter then the analysis performed in all of the operational assessments demonstrates it's safe to operate. And then after that short operating interval, again, in our protocol of inspections in Section 8 of the Return to Service Plan, we'll do 100% inspection of the tubes that remain in service for the next operating interval, and a sampling of tubes that have been removed from service we will also inspect through eddy current inspections. And that sampling size will be determined in our protocol of inspections as we prepare for the Unit 2 mid-cycle inspection. Next slide, please. On slide 6, you'll see a discussion about our operational Unit 2 operational assessments. And just as a reminder, an operational assessment is a, quote, forward-looking evaluation of steam generator tube conditions that's used to ensure the structural integrity and accident leakage performance criteria will not be exceeded during the next inspection interval. Operational assessments are required by SONG's technical specifications and the technical specifications that drive our steam generator program, as well as industry guidelines. Operational assessments provide assurance that Unit 2's steam generator tubing will continue to meet structural and leakage integrity during the operating period prior to the next planned inspection. Southern California Edison Commission 3 independently developed tube-to-tube wear operational assessments, and they were performed by 3 companies with a long history of experience with both steam generator design, manufacture, installation, and operational assessments. And those companies are Riva, Intertech, and Westinghouse. And as we went down the path of operational assessment development, as you're aware and have observed, we conducted approximately 6 of what we called expert panels, where we brought in additional worldwide experts from steam generator designers such as Babcock and Wilcox Nuclear, Riva, Westinghouse, and academics, renowned academics in thermal hydraulics and flow-induced vibration. And those expert panels ultimately we got an endorsement by the Electric Power Research Institute, EPRI, that the assessments were conducted in accordance with EPRI guidelines. Next slide, please. And we heard a question, and we've heard it several times from the staff over the past months, about just why Southern California Edison performed 3 operational assessments. Although only one's required per the program and per tech specs, one's required when you're talking about a previously experienced phenomena, the more known vibration mechanism, the AVB wear, tube-to-tube support wear. And what we experience in Unit 3 and Unit 2 is new, the tube-to-tube wear caused by in-plane vibration, caused by fluid elastic instability. So we didn't think it was appropriate to just go down and use a traditional operational assessment methodology. We wanted to use diverse methodologies, and we wanted to do this in an independent fashion and use the world's best experts to do so. So we did use several approaches, and they were in parallel and they were independent as we went down this path. Southern California Edison, in these operational assessment developments, used both probabilistic and deterministic methods in these operational assessments. And the conservative return to service plan is supported by the results of all 3 operational assessments performed independently. Next slide, please. The first operational assessment we'd like to give you an overview of, and it was our primary operational assessment performed by Riva, used tube support effectiveness as a part of its evaluation to determine stability ratios for the tubes. And it included a deterministic analysis that indicates fluid elastic instability will not occur at 70% power. Also performed an analysis to identify margin using probabilistic methods that models the physics of tube-to-tube wear. And it included a margin evaluation which produced results consistent with the structural integrity performance criteria.